I lash out at everybody. I am moody. And my husband is like, you need a break? You need a break? He's so calm about it. But you just have to be self-aware to watch all of those things that are leading into that breakdown and find out what slowdown is for you. I was trying to pull it back.
Yeah. Well, and let me tell you something that I did with you that you may not know I did this. So you and I have been talking about how you get overwhelmed and you're trying to redeem back some time so you can get various things done. There was a week in there recently where we didn't talk for like a week. It wasn't like we were mad at each other or anything, but at Wild Man home, and then you had friends over the weekend, and I stayed away. I kind of stayed quiet, thinking, all right, well, I don't want to be a part of your being overwhelmed and your breaking down because I'm taking up time talking to you. I know you love talking to me and vice versa, but I did that as an experiment. I wanted to see, well, number one, would she miss me as a friend? You did miss me, but it was kind of, okay, can I also handle that as well? It was kind of a double board, and it was cool to do that because I sometimes do break down, not from working so hard. Let's go the other end of things.
Yeah.
Sometimes being conscious with your own thoughts and letting all those swirl without like having that help with someone like a friend to kind of process through some things. And you've been helpful for that for me for as long as we've been friends. That was kind of interesting. Can I not break down? And the slowdown was slow down on needing to be present with friends. I didn't really call anybody that week, not just Brittany. I backed off. I'm like, all right, let's see how this personal development thing is working. It was miserable a little bit at times, but I also recognized that it would, and that I was ready for it. And I did okay. I think, we talked on that Tuesday, which is when we record these shows. And then I didn't contact you until like the Monday following week. So that was almost a full week. And it was great because I didn't break down.
Yeah.
And I was able to recognize, number one, I needed to gift you some of that time that you would have talked to me. And you're always great. You always talk to me when I call. And so that was one benefit. But for me, it was a slowdown. It was, okay, you don't have to always talk to other people to process.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it was beneficial. That was my version of slow down so I wouldn't break down.
Well, I love that you pointed that out. And that's kind of, what I was saying earlier, that you have to identify what is slowdown. So you and I, we're very opposite. And when I am dealing with things, I like to be quiet and in my own space and in my own head and alone. And it was part of personal development and personal growth and inner work for me to know that I was safe dealing with my problems with other people. And that's really where it broke down to, was I didn't feel safe working with other people with my inner stuff, childhood, and vice versa. With you, like, you like to have the comfort of having another person to talk it out with, and perhaps maybe, I don't know your inner work, but maybe being by yourself and dealing with it on your own was overwhelming for you. And so our versions of slowdown look different. And that's why anybody that's listening or watching, you have to kind of go over that and be self-aware of yourself. What does slowdown look for you? Are you the person that when you're going through something, you have to call 7 different people to work yourself down from it? Maybe that's kind of an indicator of, all right, I got to learn to be a little more self-reliant on myself and understand that it's safe for me to deal with my problems on my own. Or maybe you're like me, and maybe you're like, shut everybody out, talk to nobody, including the people you love the most, to deal with it on your own, because that's what feels safe. Understand that your slowdown might be, hey, reach out to a friend. Maybe 7 friends feels like too much for you. Reach out to a friend and talk to that one friend. So slow down before you break down can be a lot of different things.
So you're getting up to a friend. I'm going down to a or no friend.
It's so funny the way we do that. Well, it's just opposite in this area.
I used to, when I wouldn't hear from you for that period of time, even 2-3 days, I would be like, all right, what's wrong with Brittany? Because she's quiet. If she's quiet, that means she's hiding, and she's hiding because she's not feeling good. I can help her, and da-da-da. And I'm not trying to fix you like last week we were talking about, but it was just, I let myself get worked up with that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, she's a grown ass woman. She can live her life how she wants. If she wants to talk to me, she knows how to find me, you know.
Right.
And so I kind of like, it's almost a reframing. All of this stuff is reframing.
Yeah.
Framing why you're pushing yourself to a breakdown. And I mean, mine is a lot of abandonment issues, a lot of lack of respect issues in my life from people that makes me desire that connection. And so what's funny is I know that.
Mm-hmm.
I know it, I recognize it, and I'm able to slow down that desire and that need. That doesn't mean I don't like it. I still love it. In fact, yesterday, you guys, yesterday we were on the phone, and it was just kind of innocuous because we were talking on Instagram, and she said, "Oh, tell me more." And I'm like, "Oh, it's too much." So I said, "Can I call?" And so we called. We ended up being on the phone for 2 hours. I didn't even realize we were on the phone for that long because normally it kind of feels-ish that we've gone 2 hours. We were on, and we were like rolling in conversation like we always do. And then I'm like looking at it and go, oh crap, I've got my ice bath to do in 5 minutes. You're like, oh my gosh, I had no idea the time was passing by. But it's like, we enjoyed that. But if I had to like not have it, I'm getting better at that. I don't want to have to be better at that, but it's nice to know that if you're not around, like you have your wild man days, I don't mess with you on those days. By design, like that's your family time. And so I respect that boundary that you've given me.
That's my slow down day.
Yes, those are yes, exactly. And I was going to get to that you have built-in slow down days. It's called your husband being home.
Yes.
And that's 2 days a week that happen every single week, different weeks each week, but it's 2 days in a row where you pretty much cut off from the world. Like if my house was on fire and I was trying to call, no, I'm just kidding. You still check your phone and look at it, but like you are detached, and by design. I think it serves you well that you do that. Now you have one stretch in there where he's home and then he goes back to work and then he's not back for another whole week. Then you've got another stretch that's only just a few days and then he's back home again. And so you're in that as of the recording of this, he's going to be back home quick. And then it's going to be that week long. And you always struggle. You always almost break down during that time. And it's like, I've been trying to help you with that any way that I can. And I don't know, slow down your racing thoughts about it. What is it? I mean, not that I'm trying to psychoanalyze you here on the air, but what is it that makes you overwhelmed? What makes that week long make you break down? Like you get to the end of like that Wednesday, Thursday before he comes home and you're just like, whoa.
Yes. And I think, and I'm working on this, and I was talking about it earlier and I got distracted that I was lifting 5 days a week, and I've started to uncover this area of my life, guys. My wrist is hurting so bad. So if you see me holding it, that's my wrist is hurting, but it's hurting so bad. It's
sympathy pain for you.
Oh gosh. But it's that 7-day stretch. My husband works 12s, and oftentimes because he's supervisor, he works longer than 12s. And so when he works 12s, I work 12s. And so he works a 7-day stretch of 12 hours or more. And that means everything is on me. My husband is wonderful and he helps me when he's home. But you got to think, after a 12-hour workday, it's not that he doesn't want to come home and help. He will. He obviously will step in, but I don't want to leave things for him.
He changed the tire at like 10 o'clock at night the other night when you had a flat tire.
He did. I had a flat tire. He was so sweet. He went out there. He actually had to run to the store and everything. He was super sweet. He will do those things, and I'm grateful for that. But I, in myself, take it upon myself because I know he's working so hard to kind of match his energy and match what he's putting out. And so I take on everything for those 7 days.
So there's the breakdown.
Yeah.
Not that you can't and shouldn't take on the everything during those 7 days, but I wonder if there can be built in like ability to manage that better. Like,
Yeah.
onus of, I have to work as hard as Wildman because he's working 12-hour shifts. I have to match his energy. And so I wonder if some of you, and again, sorry to be doing this live on the air, but it's just got my wheels turning. A lot of your breakdown, especially that Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday before he's back home after it's been almost a week, a lot of your breakdown has to do with that. You've convinced yourself you have to apply all of this energy and be and bash the energy. You're wearing yourself out. Not that you're not a strong woman and a hardworking woman. I mean, you're a badass. I adore all of those qualities about you. But I think within your day, you could implement this slowdown while getting the same work done.
Yeah.
And changing your mind, kind of your thinking about it, of rather than matching Wildman's energy. He's working hard. He's bringing home the money and everything, but you're working hard to keep the children happy, growing them into, functioning adults that care about the world and people and think straight and all this stuff. So you've got an important job, but you don't have to match your husband's energy at that job he does to get that's what's breaking you down. I'm just now realizing it on the air. We always have these revelatory moments. This is why you break down.
OSD, OMG moment. I loved it last week, and I was like, that was perfect. I love those moments. And I love that we're doing this here live. It's just a few weeks ago that we kind of did your story, and I did my Brittany thing. And this is pretty much you doing the vice versa to me and asking me questions. And I love it. I love
You have taught me well, Jedi Master.
Do or do not. There is no try.
Yeah, and this is the work that I have been doing in this particular area. I knew when we did this topic that it was going to be mainly pushed to me, because this is still a real life problem that I deal with every week. And one of the ways I have started doing it, I want to get back to it, is I was lifting 5 days a week, and then the 6th day I would always pick up a cardio. And then the 7th day I would be like, oh, it's my rest day, but it's my active rest day. And so I would get on the treadmill and do my steps. And even though it was less workout and I wasn't pushing myself in terms of like speed, I was walking for like 3 miles on the treadmill all at once. And, and so essentially I wasn't giving myself any time off, and not sleeping, and pushing myself in all other areas of my life.
Oh, and let's talk about the mental aspect of all that. Because what happened to your weight during that time, Miss Thang?
Nothing.
Didn't do anything.
No.
It didn't go up, but it didn't go down. And so in your mind, you're like, what the hell? I'm pushing myself. It should be. Then you backed off to this 3-day-a-week schedule and da-da-da. What's happened to your weight?
I mean, it's the same.
Same. So it's like you pushed yourself. And look, I'm all for people pushing themselves to do things hard. I'm getting in an ice bath every day. It's hard. It's hella hard, but it's with a purpose in mind. But if I needed to take a day off, and I did, I recently felt horrible on a day. I didn't do one of the days, and that's fine. Like, that's going to happen. And so for you, you're listening to your body. You're still getting the benefits of those 3 days. And then here's the other thing. Because you're not getting up so early, you're now sleeping ostensibly better coming in the coming weeks. You're going to be able to redeem some time back that you were getting up early and investing. And here's the thing too. I'm so going to tell on you right now. When we talk on the phone, you're yawning incessantly. I mean, like, guys, there's nothing worse than being on the phone with somebody that's like, I was like, dang, is Darth Vader on the other end? And I didn't know what was going on. But like 5 minutes, there's like 7 yawns. I'm like, Brittany, can you go take a nap or something? Because that's, so that's part of yours as well. I think yours is sleeplessness. It's taking on more than you can. And look, that's your personality. You take on a lot. And look, so do I. So I get it. I get the mentality. But the fine line between taking it on to the point of exhaustion and breakdown versus taking it on with targeted slowdowns, so then you can take it on and targeted slow down and take it on and get that kind of next breath. I get it. You can't always be that way because you've got 3 munchkins that, mommy, I'm hungry. Mommy, can I have a Coke? Mommy. So I get you've got more things than, say, I do as a single guy. but there's ways to incorporate it.